Like I said, I'm using some new software, and so sometimes that's a little finicky and strange. But this is called Tech Tip Tuesday, and every Tuesday I want to give you some technical tip that will make your business just a little bit easier. Okay. Today's topic is on Zoom. I know most of you use it already, and that's great, but I've got some tips and tricks that may help you a little bit more in Zoom that you may or may not even be aware of. Most of them are really easy. So let's start over here on the left under microphone. You have a choice whether you use the built in microphone, whether you use the microphone, on your computer, an external mic, which is what I'm using here. Um, and then the same on the speaker. You can have a speaker. I'm using my headphones. You can test it, of course. You can switch to phone, so forth and so on. Those are just normal stuff. Over here under video is where the magic starts. Um, of course, you can use either camera that you choose, but you can choose a virtual background. Now, right now, I've got my background sort of blurred, and this is helpful if you've got important stuff behind you, or you just really don't want anybody to see your messy room. This is a real easy fix, and it works very well. And as you can see, it looks pretty good behind you. Of course, I can be in San Francisco, or it can be at night. Now, the cool thing is you can also upload your own video or your own image. There was a time that I actually did a banner all the way around mine that said Annie Richardson Consulting, and I made that in Canva, and it was real easy. And if you're interested in that, just let me know in the chat, and I'll show you how to do that a little bit later on. But you'll notice that some of this kind of doesn't work exactly perfect. Let's see if I can get a better look here. Maybe the green. See my head come kind of in and out. You can see sort of what's behind it. That's because I'm not using a green screen. Now, Zoom does a great job without green screens. But if you have a green screen, which is literally what it says, a big green screen behind you, it can be a big green sheet. I've seen people use that, or a blue screen. It's actually a real specific color of green, which is just basically your Kelly green, bright crayon green. Okay. And it sits behind you, and it helps with this stuff that's kind of weird out here. Okay. But for my purposes, you know what? This usually works just fine for me. Okay. Um, and again, like I said, blur works pretty darn good, and I'm pretty impressed with it. Another thing you have are video filters, and these are a lot of fun. I can have little happy faces all the way around me. I can have put on my cybersecurity hat and look like a bandit, right? Um, I can look at you in 3D or in aerospace goggles, put on my shades, just all kinds of things. This is pretty cute, but it kind of messes up my crown, so we don't like that very much. You can put rabbit ears on, a unicorn, you name it, you can do it. There's an analog TV, or of course you can just do none. If you want to make a banner like this, I can show you how very easily in Canva. It's basically, excuse me, it's basically just two squares, and then you cut the middle square out. That's all there is to it. So you set up your background with all the colors or all the things you want, put a square inside that, and then cut out the middle square and make it transparent. But that's a story for another day. So that's all about that. There's some other cool things through here, but we're not going to go through all of that today. Not, the settings are pretty much done for the most part. Okay, so another thing that you can do, security. This allows you, of course, to lock the meeting. Now, what would that mean? That would mean that once I've got my 80 participants in my meeting, I want everybody to start at the same place. So, as a result, I don't want any other members to come in. I can lock the meeting and no one else will be allowed in. Okay. I can enable the waiting room, and you've seen this to where when you come in, you sit in this little room until I let you in. To me, that's just more of a pain in the butt than anything. But but you can also allow and disallow some things here. You can allow your participants to share their own screen or not. Allow them to chat or not. They can rename themselves, unmute, so forth and so on. So if you're doing like a webinar, you may not want to allow them to unmute themselves, right? Everybody's muted and that's the way it's going to be. So you can do that as well. So just a few options you can think of. Under participants, really the only big thing is that you can see who all your participants are. As you can see here, it's just me. You can also right click. You won't be able to on mine because I'm the only one in, but right click or go to more and engage that person directly. Instead of sending this to everyone, you can send it to a specific person on the chat. Okay. And sometimes that's important. If you've got a question, you don't want to go to the group, you just want to ask, the host, or you want to ask another member, you can engage them in their own chat section instead of sending it to the entire group. And that's what the chat's all about. On the share screen, of course, you can do a couple of things which are really neat. You can one participant share at a time. That's what I'm doing right now. So if someone else wanted to share their screen, I'd have to stop sharing. The other person could come in. But you can also have several people be able to share the screen. Now, I've used this in times to where I'm doing a demonstration and somebody wants to go along with me. Excuse me, a couple of people. And I want to be able to see their screen as well to see if they're able to follow along with the instructions or if they're having trouble or something like that. Keep in mind, that's got some serious bandwidth issues that you may run into. So it may or may not work exactly like you're planning. You don't want to share, 15 people, that kind of thing simultaneously, but one or two is not so bad. You can also decide whether just the host can share or everybody can, or you can say when somebody else is sharing, only the host can interrupt to that, right? Or you and the reason you would do that, of course, is because some people would just interrupt others just willy-nilly, right? I know, rude, right? That's the way I feel. It's just rude. Anyway, of course, the next button across is the record button. And that's, of course, if you want to record your screen or record your actual um, Zoom call here. Live transcript, if somebody needs it, you can actually do it right here live. You can enable it live. And so now it's showing the live transcription, as you can see, which drives me to drinking when I'm actually doing it. But hey, and sometimes it doesn't understand my accent very well. So the best thing for me is to, turn them on, but not let you see them until, of course, it's over. So that kind of saves some trouble there. Okay. So I'm going to turn that off. Uh, you can also make some changes here, like how big it's going to be or how small, whether or not they can see the IM chat or things like that. I don't pay much attention to this, to be honest. I just, let it do its transcription after the fact, and life is pretty good. Okay. So, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Transcription. Well, anyway, not going to worry about that right now. Disable. There we go. Disable. Thank you. There we go. All right. Now, the very next thing, oops, the next thing that you need to look at is reactions. This is usually used when you are a participant, but it doesn't have to be. It can be used, I can put one right up here and you can see it. But usually, it's used to raise your hand or something like that. Now, these are on off. So, if it says raise your hand, you have to lower your hand, right? But your reactions stay up just for a short time, and then they go away. There are more, of course, as many smileys and fun things as you can find, right? That's just a cool little trick. No big deal. Here's where the fun comes in, guys. They have finally started something called applications. Now, there are applications that Zoom has had some part in creating and basically sponsors. And then there are applications in the Wild Wild West. Think of them like WordPress plugins, right? So when you click apps, you want to go to discover, and there are all kinds, right? One of the things that I like the best, here's a really cool little note taker, right? So that you can take notes as you go along. There's transcriptions readers, there is all kinds of different things. But one of my favorite things to use is the timer. And because I do a lot of co-working with friends, and to be able to have a timer right here on the side of Zoom, ready to go when I am, is really pretty cool. I can set however number of minutes I need right here and click start. I can set it, for specific. I could set it for 21 minutes if I wanted, if that worked. Um, and this of course tells you whether or not something will go ding ding at the end or whatever. It's a real simplistic timer, but it does work. And it's right here built into Zoom, so I don't have to set a different one and go back and so forth and so on. So when you got time and you want to, remember this will take you down a rabbit hole for sure. But look down through here, you can make your own agenda. If you use Asana, you can, put that in there if you desire. Um, there's just all kinds. Coffee breaks kind of cute. This reminds you to take a coffee break after a certain number of minutes, or get up and walk around, that kind of thing. So there's just really some great tools in here that you may want to use, just if nothing else, to keep you kind of going, right? To to prevent you from having to go out and do more. Here's some more virtual backgrounds. You can add that in there if you want. And I may have to sign up if I don't want to do. Yep. Nope. Sign in. Okay. Cool. But anyway, there's like supposedly there's like 2 million of them. High res sort of. Oops. I'm sorry. High res sort of backgrounds. I've got to pre-approve it, so forth and so on, authorize, and that takes care of spam. It's my day for spam. So anyway, there's some virtual backgrounds that you can use in Zoom, and everything is done right here, right? Now, I will tell you this, something very cool that I actually did. My friend Jen Bockham um, has a beautiful landscape that she takes pictures every once in a while, and she will send me some pictures, and I have been known to use those as well. So you can choose some of these. Gens look like that most of the time, and you just set background, and there you go. So now you have another tool and another way to change your background, and these look pretty good. They're very high res. Um, you can use them anything you want, and don't spend too much time because, of course, there's lots of things that you can do, right? I would like to be in an art gallery. I really would. That's no kidding. I'd feel that really, I like that. Anyway, that's just kind of some of the types of apps that you can use, that you can see. And like I said, you certainly can take this down in a rabbit hole without even realizing you're there. I've seen several people use this note taker, and it seems to be work very well for most people. So maybe something that you want to look into. Now, of course, it's going to whine at me because I'm using a lot of bandwidth. It's like, what are you doing, Annie? Good grief. Okay. So now I get to use this little note taker, which is just what it says. It's just a place to take notes. Um, I've got to do my onboarding, of course, before, and I'll do that another day. But at anyway, that's a great little tool that you can use for your apps. To find different things that work for you. The last little piece is live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and live on custom live service. Facebook doesn't work anymore, or it didn't the last time I tried. The only reason I'm going live in Facebook is I'm using another application to pull Zoom into. I don't think that has been fixed yet. But you can go live on YouTube directly from Zoom, should you desire. Or you can create a custom live streaming service. If like Flutin, I use that. I can get an RMTP stream and set that up, and it looks something very similar to this. You put in your streaming URL, which is not that. You put in your streaming key, and then the live streaming page URL, so that everybody that has the link can watch the broadcast and then go live. And it's just that simple. So, if you have another type thing, you can certainly do that um, as RMTP. So, anyway, that's just a few hints, tips, and tricks to kind of help you. Like I said, today was all about Zoom. I'm trying to keep these very short, um, and hopefully, oh, you're getting ugly stuff. Okay, let's go back here. And hopefully, there you go. Hopefully, this has been helpful to you. If you have other ideas or thoughts that you would like to use, um, you would like to for me to talk about during these types of calls, let me know. I am more than happy to oblige. Um, so, hope this has been helpful. Let me know in the chat what you think. Oh gosh, there was one more thing I forgot to show you, and it's really very fun. When you are on Zoom, you can, you can change your view, right? You can be immersive, right? And immersive means if you've got 6 participants, somebody's going to show up in every one of those little spaces, right? So here's me. If I had other participants, they could sit in here as well, which I think is really fun. Really, really fun. You can also change things like the way you look. Um, you know, I can put on makeup. I can put on, I can change my appearance to some extent, and things like that. So that is also a possibility, and that's really done under um, video settings. I think right down in here under right here, touch up my appearance. Right, I can make myself look a little better or a little worse. Adjust it for low light, right? Makes me a little brighter. Display the participant name, stop my video, so forth and so on. These are all kinds of things that you can actually set, which helps you as well. Background, I've shown you, filters, I've shown you. The coolest thing in one of these is, oh, studio effects. If you'll go to studio effects now, and which I probably can do because I have no eyebrows, right? So, I might want to make myself some eyebrows. Maybe not quite that much. Um, I don't really want a mustache, but I could have, right? I can put on lipstick. Let's take that little bad boy off. I don't want that. And okay, put on lipstick, right? Of my color that I want. You can make it really dark or really light, right? So that's just some fun things that you can set um, for any time you want. Ooh, ugly color. Anyway, I'll quit playing. So those are just some of the things that you can set to enhance your appearance or for just for fun, right? Okay. So that being said, I'm all done. So I will see you guys in the next video. Talk to you soon. Bye now.